So, hello students, I welcome you again to your English class, and today we are going to do another chapter in your book, Your New Pathways from 8th standard. Now we are going to start this. Actually, it's a drama here, Sherlock Holmes, okay, and it's very interesting drama, and it is all about the detective stories of Sherlock Holmes. Now let us see the starter. Would you like to be a detective? Read these riddles and think of answers for them. So, three riddles are there, and you just have to read these riddles and find out the answers to it. Two mothers and two daughters decide to go cycling. They rent one cycle each, but only three cycles are rented. How is that so? Now, when you read these three riddles, you will find the answers are here, just written in reverse. See, so there was a grandmother, her daughter, and granddaughter. So there were only three actually, and that is why only three cycles were rented. If there are no walls or people around you, how can you throw a ball as hard as you can and have it come back to you without hitting the ground? So it will be like throw it straight up. So and the ceiling was there, no? So if you throw it up, obviously it's going to come down. Think of a yes no question for which yes can never be a correct answer. Okay, so here, are you sleeping? No, you're not sleeping, so we are awake right now. So, how interesting these riddles are, isn't it? You can find more riddles and play along with your friends whenever you feel like. So, let's start with this chapter, The Red Headed League. Now, before starting this, there are characters in this drama, and let's know about these characters so that you understand the drama well. Now, Sherlock Holmes, you all know that he was the famous detective, okay, one of the famous detective, and Dr. Watson was his very good friend, and he always used to assist him in all his detective stories. So, a doctor and Sherlock Holmes, Sherlock's friend. Okay, James Wilson, a red-haired shopkeeper. Now, who was James Wilson? He was a man, and he had red color hair, and he was a shopkeeper. Vincent Spaulding, Wilson's assistant. Now, Vincent Spaulding was Wilson's assistant. Who was Wilson? James Wilson. Okay, so Wilson's assistant, also known as John Clay. So Vincent Spaulding had two names. Okay, he was also known as John Clay. Duncan Ross, Spaulding's accomplice, a man with red hair. Now, who was Duncan Ross? He was Spaulding's accomplice, means he used to accompany Spaulding, Vincent Spaulding, okay, and even he had red color hair. Mr. Jones, a detective from Scotland Yard. Now, who was Mr. Jones? He was another detective. Apart from Sherlock Holmes, one more detective was there, and he was Mr. Jones, and he had come there from Scotland Yard. Okay, so these are the six characters which you need to know while reading this drama. So let's start with our next page, that is page number 138. Now here the drama starts, and this is the first scene. So the first scene here, Sherlock Holmes and James Wilson are sitting in Holmes' study. Holmes has the newspaper Morning Chronicle in his hand. So, in the first scene, what is there? What you see there is that it was the Sherlock Holmes place, okay, and Sherlock Holmes and James Wilson, they both are sitting in home study. That means It is Sherlock Holmes' place, and it was his study. And in that, Sherlock and James Wilson both are sitting in the study. Holmes has the newspaper Morning Chronicle in his hand, and Holmes is reading one newspaper, and its name is Morning Chronicle, and he has that in his newspaper in his hand. Okay, now Holmes reading from the newspaper. Now Holmes, Sherlock Holmes, he is reading this extract from that newspaper. To the Red-Headed League, there is now a vacancy which entitles a member of the League to a salary of £4 a week for purely nominal services. All red-headed men who are sound in body and mind and above the age of 21 are eligible. Apply in person on Monday at 11 o'clock to Duncan Ross at the offices of the League, 7 Pope's Court, Fleet Street, London. So this was the address given here. And what was the address? It was to whom they had to go and submit that application. It was Duncan Ross and at the offices of the League, 7 Pope's Court. This is the address, 7 Pope's Court, Fleet Street, London. And what was the job that they are going to give? So it was a vacancy, and the vacancy was only for the people who had red color hair. So to the Red-Headed League, there is now a vacancy which entitles a member of the League to a salary of £4 a week, and only weekly they are going to pay, and that was £4 a week for purely nominal service. And the service was very nominal, very like a small type of job it was. All red-headed men, so all the men with red hair, only they could be appointed there, who are sound in body and mind, and they should be physically fit and mentally alert also, and above the age of 21. And even the age limit is given that it should be 21 above, not less than 21, and only those people were eligible. And they had to apply there in person, means they had to go there personally, and then on Monday they could give their application. And the timing was also given at 11 o'clock to Duncan Ross, and the address was given here. Now Sherlock Holmes, he says to Mr. Wilson, okay, and what he says? Most interesting, Mr. Wilson, most interesting. So he's saying, oh, Mr. Wilson, it is very interesting. Now here, see the characters. Who was Mr. Wilson here? Now Sherlock Holmes is a famous detective, okay, and Watson was friend. But Sherlock Holmes is sitting with Mr. Wilson. And who was Mr. Wilson? He was a red-haired shopkeeper. So he was talking to Mr. Wilson, not to Watson. So many a times, the students, they get confused, because it is in most of his stories Mr. Watson is accompanying Mr. Sherlock Holmes, and that is why every time Sherlock Holmes and Watson is sitting. But here Watson is not here. Okay, James Wilson and Sherlock Holmes, they both are sitting. So he says that, oh, that's a good job, and at least James Wilson can take up that job. The door opens and Watson comes in. Just then what happens? The door opens and his friend, Sherlock Holmes' friend, Mr. Watson, he enters and he comes inside. Watson, Holmes, I am sorry, I did not know. So Watson, when he enters the room, he sees that James Wilson is also sitting with him. So he says, oh, I am very sorry. I did not know that somebody is sitting there with you, and I just opened the door and came inside. So Holmes says, come in, Watson. This is Mr. James Wilson. He comes with a very interesting problem. Mr. Wilson, Dr. Watson has accompanied me on many investigations, and you can speak freely in front of him as you do with me. So he's saying, oh, you can speak freely in front of Mr. Watson because he's my friend, and every time he only accompanies me in my detective things. Whenever he's going to detect anything, he is there to accompany him. Will you tell your story again? For Dr. Watson. And then Mr. Sherlock Holmes, he said that you must repeat your story again to Dr. Watson so that he understands it properly. Give him the advertisement to read. And then Wilson gives the newspaper to Mr. Watson, and then Watson, he reads the newspaper. Holmes, Now Holmes says to Mr. Watson, okay, what he says, you can tell no doubt that our client has been to China and has done quite a bit of writing lately. So he says to Mr. Watson that you can tell no doubt that our client, who is the client? James Wilson is the client right now there. So he says that you can very well look at him and you can say that he has been to China and has done quite a bit of writing lately. Wilson was shocked. Why? How when? So Wilson, he did not know anything, so he was shocked and he said that how? Then Holmes says to Wilson, you have a tattoo of a fish with pink scales on your right wrist that indicates a process particular to China. And that Chinese coin dangling from your keychain provides further evidence. So Holmes, he says to Wilson, and he says that, see, you have a tattoo of a fish with pink scales on your right wrist. So on his right wrist, he had some here. He had some tattoo of a fish and that was pink color with pink scales. And usually the Chinese they make such a tattoo on their wrist. Okay, that is why he was very like he could identify that this man he was like particular from China. And it also had a Chinese coin dangling. Obviously, Chinese coin is from China from your keychain provides further evidence, and because there was a keychain also with him and a Chinese coin was dangling from that. Then okay, so he said okay, by identifying this Chinese tattoo and the Chinese coin, okay, you can say that I've been to China. But what about writing? Then Wilson says, but the writing, what about writing? Then Holmes says, why, your right cuff is very shiny compared to your right one, and the left one has a smooth patch near the elbow where you rest it up the desk. So while writing, when you write, this portion it becomes a bit shiny. Okay, and even the elbow portion, many a times, even that is affected when you're writing a lot. So that is why he says that because this portion is quite shining, that means you have done a lot, quite a bit of writing also. Wilson amused. So Wilson was really amused and he said, yes, you're very much right, and see, your observation is quite like good. Yes, that's right, he says. Then Watson, putting away the newspaper, it's very strange indeed. Now, while these both Wilson and Holmes were talking, Watson was reading the newspaper and he was trying to speculate the things while reading the newspaper. And by the time he had finished reading, and then he says, it's very strange indeed. And why it was strange? Because the job which was provided in that newspaper, that was really very strange. How can you provide a job only to the people who had certain color hair, or so it was very strange. So that is why he says this. Now Wilson, looking excited, it is strange, isn't it? So Wilson says, yes, it is strange, isn't it? Do you see the day and month of the newspaper? Then Wilson also says that, do you see the day and month of the newspaper? So what was there in the day and month in that newspaper? So he says, Watson, it's the Morning Chronicle of 27th April 1890, 2 months ago. Okay, then the newspaper was quite old. It was 2 months old. Holmes says, now Mr. Wilson, tell us about yourself. Okay, he says, now Holmes is asking Mr. Wilson to tell something more about himself. And then Wilson starts. Now Wilson says, I own a pawn shop on Saxcoburg Square. It's a little shop and it doesn't make much money, but I have enough to go on. I have an assistant, that is Vincent Spaulding. It was he who called my attention to this advertisement. Well, I didn't know what to think. Then he says, Mr. Wilson, he said that he owned a shop, a pawn shop, and that shop was quite a small shop, though could not earn a lot of money, but the amount was quite enough to run his own house. And then he said that I have an assistant, and Mr. Wilson also had an assistant, and his name was Vincent Spaulding. It was he. So who drew his attention towards that advertisement? Vincent Spaulding. Okay, so he said that he drew his attention towards that advertisement. Well, I didn't know what to think, but then he did not know what to do about that advertisement. Holmes, tell me a little more about your assistant. So Holmes requested Mr. Wilson that you must tell something more about your assistant, Mr. Spaulding. So Wilson said okay, and then he started describing him. He said, small, stout built. That means Mr. Spaulding was quite a small, and he was stout built, means a bit sturdy look was there. Very quick in his ways, means quite active person. No hair on his face, quite a smooth person. Though he is not short of 30. Okay, like he was almost like 30 years of age, but still he did not have beard and all on his face. Has a white scar upon his forehead, and he also had a white scar on his forehead. He is a good worker, and obviously he was a very good worker. He could not afford an assistant, but he agreed to work for half wages. Now he's Mr. Wilson said though he could not afford an assistant for himself, but then also because he agreed for only half wages, he kept that Spaulding on his shop. I couldn't find a smarter assistant, and obviously he was quite a smart assistant, and then also he was ready to work on half wages. He did not know why, and then he had kept him there. He spends a lot of time in the cellar of the shop. Now, what is cellar? It is a storeroom type, a very dark room. So, there he used to spend a lot of time. Who? Mr. Spaulding. Where he develops his photographs. And why he is staying there most of the time? Because he used to develop photographs. And for developing photographs, you need a dark room. That is why. He told me that he was an amateur photographer and that he needed a place that was dark to develop his negatives. But it doesn't bother me. Okay, then he said he needed a dark room because he was a good a photographer, and to develop his negatives into the photographs, for that required a dark room, isn't it? So, and Mr. Wilson had no problem in giving him that room, but it doesn't bother me, and that was not a problem for Mr. Wilson. So he said okay, and he was working there. Holmes said, now Holmes speculated something. Wilson, well, he showed me the advertisement and told me that this league was set up to help red-headed men. Now Wilson, he said, well, he showed me, and like Spaulding, he showed that advertisement to Mr. Wilson, and he said that this league is set up just to help the people with the red-haired men. He said that I should not let such an opportunity pass. And then he said, now this, because Mr. Wilson had red hair, so he said that this is a good opportunity for you to earn money, so you should not lose this opportunity. After some thought, I agreed. Now, after some thinking for a while, Mr. Wilson said, okay, why to lose an opportunity? So on Monday, he accompanied me to that address. And on Monday, Mr. Wilson and Spaulding, Mr. Spaulding accompanied Wilson, and they both went to this place where we met Mr. Duncan Ross. Upon seeing me, Mr. Ross was very excited and told me that I met all the requirements for the job. And at once, Mr. Duncan, he was quite excited to see Mr. Wilson on his shop, and he agreed to give him the job. He said, okay, you are there because you fulfill all the requirements for the job, so you are done for the job. I was old enough and my hair was the right color. And he said, oh, you are quite old enough also, like your age is also suitable, and even your hair color. Then Holmes said, what did your job involve? We said, oh, after all, what was your job? So Wilson said, I was to be in the office between the hours of 10 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon each day. So like Wilson was there to be in the office, he was given the job to stay there in the office. And what was the timings? That between the hours of 10 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon each day, and not leave for any reason. Mr. Spaulding said that he could attend to the business for this short period. Now, he had to leave his own shop. Whose shop? Mr. Wilson had to leave his shop and he had to be in the other shop for the timing. Till day in the like in at 10 o'clock he should be there, and even in the afternoon he should be there. Mr. Spaulding said that he could attend to the business for this short period. Well, I asked what I was to do. I could use an extra £4 a week, you see. So he said that he could use an extra £4 a week, you see. Mr. Ross told me that I was to copy the encyclopedia. So what work he was given? Just to copy the encyclopedia. Okay, see from the encyclopedia and write down in the copy. So this was a very easy job. So Holmes said, Holmes, copy the encyclopedia. Like this type of job, nobody has heard about copying, from one book to the other. Nobody has heard about such a job. So it was quite odd type of job, and Holmes said, oh, copy the encyclopedia. Wilson said, yes. Well, I was very pleased. Obviously, Wilson thought, oh, it's a very easy job just to copy. Mr. Holmes, I went home feeling very happy. But that evening I began to think again. Copying from a book is strange work for a man to do. So even Wilson started thinking that this type of job really it's very strange. Watson, very strange, yes. So Watson also, yes, very strange. Wilson, the next morning I went to Pope's Court with my pen and some paper. Mr. Ross was there, but he soon went away, and I began my work. Okay, then what happened with Mr. Wilson? He reached that place and he started copying from the encyclopedia, and he started his work there. But Mr. Ross, Duncan Ross, what he did? He went from there. Okay, but soon he went away, and I began my work. I went in every morning. I went in every morning at 10 o'clock and went home at 2. So what he used to do is from 10 o'clock till 2 o'clock he used to stay there in the shop. And on Saturday Mr. Ross gave me my £4. And on every Saturday he used to get his £4. Holmes, how long did you work there? So Holmes asked Mr. Wilson, for how long were you working there? So he said that 8 weeks, and how he worked there for 8 weeks. But today I went to the office at 10 o'clock and the door was locked. But that day, today he's saying that he had gone to that office, and when he went there, he saw that the office was locked. Okay, and there was one paper put up on that lock, and what was that paper? So he takes that paper from his coat and gives it to Holmes. Okay, and he says that this was on the door. And what was that paper? On that paper something was written. And what was written? The Red-Headed League is finished. 21st June 1890. So this date was there, and it said that the Red-Headed League is finished, that the work is over, and that is why they have closed it. And the date was also there. Now Holmes said, then what did you do? Then Holmes said, then what did you do after that? Wilson, I went to the office in the next building and I asked the man, what happened to the Red-Headed League? He said he was not familiar with Mr. Ross or the League. So he said he went to the other office and tried to find out that what happened to the Red-Headed League, where these people have gone, why they have closed the office. Then those people, they said that no, we have no idea about any Mr. Ross or any sort of a league there. Instead, he told me that Mr. William Morris, a solicitor. So instead, what happened actually, Mr. William Morris, a solicitor, was there. He had rented the room until yesterday and had moved out. Now, actually, Mr. Solicitor, he had rented that room, okay, till yesterday. I asked about a forwarding address, and when told, I went directly and found it to be a vacant lot. So he said that I asked about a forwarding address. So he asked, tried to find out about the forwarding address for these red-headed league. But then, and when told, I went directly and found it to be a vacant lot. And when he found got that address, that forwarding address, when he went to that place, he found that it was all closed and nobody was there. It was vacant. Holmes, you did not find a Mr. William Morris or a Mr. Duncan Ross, am I right? So Mr. Holmes, he said that he's told Mr. Wilson, so that when you went to that forwarding address, you did not find any Mr. William Morris or Duncan Ross. He said, yes, I'm right. He said, yes, it's right, I did not find anyone. Wilson said, you are, the whole affair was very strange, and I thought perhaps you could shed some light on the matter. So Mr. Wilson said that because he could not find any for Mr. Morris or anybody else in the forwarding address, and that is why he has come to Mr. Holmes to try to find out or put some more light on this, that how come it happened so. Because he was a detective, that is why Mr. Wilson had approached Holmes, Sherlock Holmes. Okay, then the whole affair was very strange, and I thought perhaps you could shed some light on the matter, and that is why he had come to Mr. Holmes. Holmes, after thinking for a while, where is Vincent Spaulding now? So Mr. Holmes, he thought for a while, and after thinking, then he asked that where is Vincent Spaulding? And who was Vincent Spaulding? He was there with, let us see the characters, isn't it? So Wilson Spaulding was Wilson's assistant, isn't it? Who was Wilson? James Wilson's assistant was Vincent Spaulding. Okay, so he used to assist Wilson only, and now he was not there with Mr. Wilson. So he asked that where is he now? Wilson says he is at the shop. Holmes, that is all, Mr. Wilson. Today is Saturday. I am going to have an answer for you before Monday. So Holmes said, okay, no problem. You can go now. Today is Saturday, and before Monday comes, I will give you your answer. Wilson said, thank you, Mr. Holmes. Wilson goes out. So he said, thanks. He thanked him, and then he goes out of that room. Holmes, we must work quickly, Watson. So Holmes asked his friend, Mr. Watson, who was a doctor also, he said that now we must hurry up and we must work upon this case. We are going to Saxe-Coburg Square right now. And he ordered Mr. Watson that right now we must move to Saxe-Coburg. And what was this? This was the name of the place where his shop was. Whose shop? Mr. Wilson's shop was there. Okay, so he said, let's move to that place right now. So with this we finish our first scene, and then we'll start with the second scene also.